We ended up there in 62. And then
we met on a indeed we did, yes.
so much.
I think you should have a jacket, though. Shouldn't it? It should. He looks at it. No, I'm going to go there. David's a bit of a silver fern.
No, I'm talking about the exhibits.
Well, David, mate.
Well, these are, I mean, all the sleeves that come with scarves on.
So you were there till like 66?
Boys in blue.
The boys in blue. There was a tour there. It was.
Yeah, that's what
Yes, he was.
that's what I'm referencing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referencing, boys in blue.
Turnbull wears orange.
But you see certain times that wear blue.
Yeah.
A lot of them you end up doing blue.
Don't wear red.
They don't wear
Is that angry?
I've got a red tie.
Don't move very often.
only when you want to make someone
I think
angry.
red ties here really should be Christmas. Maybe go, yeah, you should all wear those British Day Christmas socks for the last one of the years.
We should come to sleep over a time. We should, I'll show you the first choice. I wonder if Steph will come in with a blue scarf on, then you'll be all in blue.
That's all blue ties.
Nice and blue.
Oh, really? I've got all those too. Because? Yeah, good reason.
Like you were saying, straight lunch. Very lucky. Just as we've still got it.
I just bought it though, so that might be That's
Good afternoon, councillors. I welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along. I declare this meeting open. Under announcements, councillors, I want to acknowledge the passing of Peter Duncan, who had his funeral last week. Peter was a highly respected president of the City of Bunbury Surf Lifesaving Club, and I've never attended a larger funeral. It was massive, and again, it just probably in my mind indicates it's not what you are or who you are, it's what you do that makes a big difference for our community. So, Val Peter. Last week we also had the grant of $300,000 for CCTV. That was advised by the Honourable John Castrulli, member for Bunbury. And last Friday we had an even larger, nicer surprise with the announcement by the Premier and Minister Redmond, Minister for Regional Development and Lands, of Stage 2 funding for the waterfront of $20.73 million, and that includes, with Stage 1 and 2, it's about $46 million of grants announced for the waterfront development, which is very exciting and welcome news for our community. And my fuel costs, the highlight of the announcements, my fuel cost for the last month was $49.83. For apologies, councillors, Councillor McGuinness is an apology for tonight, and Councillor McGwell is on leave. Declarations of interest. Councillor Hayward, 10.32, it's a impartiality interest as he rents a home in the affected area. Councillor Cook, an impartiality interest, same item as his nephew owns a property in the area. Councillor Steck, 10.51, it's a financial interest as a partner owner in Citygate who owns a shopping centre, another shopping centre in the city. Are there any further declarations of interest, councillors? Thank you. Public question time. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The questions are one, will stages 1 and 2 of the waterfront redevelopment now proceed together in parallel, and when are they expected to commence for each of Cabana Beach and Casuarina Drive? 2, I read into the announcements that the City of Bunbury and not the State will now undertake the design and construction and future maintenance of the works in stages 1 and 2. Is that correct? 3, what will be the trigger for payment of funds to the City of Bunbury by the State Government? And when will the first monies be paid and for what works? And will they include the water park? And if so, how much relates to the water park?
Thank you. CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In relation to question 1, no, Cabana Beach, stage 1, it's Cabana Beach. The commencement is during the 16-17 financial year, and stage 2 will actually commence in 18-19, which is when funding is made available. Question 2, yes, for stage 1 landscaping component, however, it should be noted the Dolphin Discovery Centre is being managed, or the redevelopment of Dolphin Discovery Centre is being managed by the State Government, with stage 2 is yet to be determined. And question 3, upon signing of the financial assistance agreement, we expect the first money prior to 30th of June this year, and no, it does not include any funding for the water park.
Thank you. Can someone move the confirmation of the minutes of our last meeting? Councillor Cook, Councillor Giles, all in favour? That's carried unanimously. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Can I just state that the item that I declared an interest in was actually 5.11. I incorrectly wrote it down. 15.11. In relation to the Stirling Street and Cornwall Street decked car park.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Steve. We'll make that change. We note that. Good, thanks, Liz. Councillors, are there any petitions? We have a request from Mr. Smith to make a presentation on that item 10.5.1. Those who agree, please indicate. Those who don't, that's declined. Councillors, under 8.4.1, we have a delegate's report from Councillor Cook. Thank you for that. Someone move that recommendation. Councillor Jones, Councillor McCleary, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much, Councillor Cook. Councillors, forgive me while I suck a strepsil. Method of dealing with tonight's agenda. 10.2.1 requires an absolute majority. 10.22 also requires an absolute majority. 10.3.2 we have impartiality interests. Councillor Steck, yours is the confidential item which we'll deal with separately anyway, behind closed doors. Are there any other items in 10, councillors, that you wish to discuss tonight?
Sorry, sir, I only have one question. I don't really need to discuss the matter.
What's that relating to?
On 10.5.1.
Okay, that's all right. We'll have that. Any
Thank you,
others?
sir.
Can someone remove the balance? Thank you. Councillor Cook, Councillor Hayward, all in favour? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. We go to 10.21. We need an absolute majority. Councillors, can someone move that? Councillor Jones, Councillor McCleary, all in favour? That's carried by an absolute majority. Thank you. 10.22. Someone move. Councillor Jones, Councillor Giles, all in favour? That's unanimously approved. Thank you very much. 10.3.2. I'm aware of your alternative, Councillor Cook. We'll just get to that. Is someone prepared to move the executive recommendation? Councillor McCleary. Is there a seconder? Councillor Kelly. Councillor McCleary. Councillor Kelly.
No.
Speaker against. Councillor Cook.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillors, I'll be voting against the recommendation before us and offering an alternate motion. The alternate motion will read, item 1 will be the same, so happy to deregulate that region and let residents do what they want. Item 2 will read, carry out community consultation, it's in front of you, but for a period of not less than 21 days to ascertain community sentiment and achieve community ownership and buy-in on the issue. Such consultation will include communication with both owners and property occupants in all impacted buildings. And item 3 is to report back to Council in due course with the findings of the consultation process and recommendation for action. Councillors, I urge you to vote against the motion in front of you and support my alternate when it comes up.
Thank you, Councillor Cook. Speaker 4. Councillor McCleary, would you like to close? Sure.
Councillor Cook's alternative obviously puts a further timeline on it. Can I just ask whether or not extending that time out by that much, and perhaps with what it involves, will have any impact on any processes that we have?
Thank you. CEO, are you aware? Do you wish to defer? Mr Cowell?
Through you, Mr Mayor. It won't have any impact. The alternative motion won't have any impact except for probably achieving. We're required to do more maintenance basically in the interim anyway. So overall, it will not have any impact by extending it by the consultation process, which we were going to carry out anyway.
Just to follow up, if I may, Mr Mayor. Just ballpark figure as to perhaps how much that maintenance might involve, and whether or not we've got the funds available if it happens.
Mr Cowell?
Through you again, Mr Mayor. There's maintenance fund available for the 16-17 budget. Most of the maintenance has been done subsequent in the current financial year, with obviously the ongoing issues that we've had with the system itself. We're contemplating that we hopefully will not have a significant amount of maintenance required for the 16-17 financial year. However, there are funds in place just in case maintenance is required.
Thank you. Okay. Councillor McCleary, to close the debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I only had a quick opportunity to see the alternative recommendation from Councillor Cook, and I do feel that it is really just splitting hairs, that in the end we're going to do exactly what this recommendation on the table is stating anyway, and I believe that it's going to advise all affected Marsden Hill residents. We are going to be doing that. So I feel that we just need to bite the bullet. We are going to follow protocol, and what is on the table is very applicable, and we should follow through with this particular recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put it all in favour, please indicate. Those against? That's carried. Thank you. 10.51, someone prepared to move the recommendation? Thank you, Councillor McCleary. Thank you very much, Councillor Kelly. Councillor McCleary?
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Kelly? Councillor Stick, you had a question on this one.
Yes, thank you, sir. In relation to page 68, 4.0, implementation of the Casuarina Harbour Master Plan opinion and probable costs, I just want to know whether or not the Casuarina Drive, the road, pavement, earthworks, drainage and pavement and curb, whether or not that's not going to be part of the reduction of the road process into single lanes. Because the overarching document shows that road to go to single lanes, so that's not the start of that, is it?
Stage 2 includes the causeway, but perhaps, Mr CEO, are you familiar with the details?
Through Mr Mayor, the question was around Casuarina Drive. So Casuarina Drive, the main upgrades to Casuarina Drive will be from the last property through to the outer harbour. That will include roadworks, landscaping, seawall protection on the ocean side to stop sand drift, and then development on the Casuarina Harbour side as well. So it's primarily landscaping and infrastructure works.
Okay, so therefore the double lanes will stay at this particular point of time. It's only mostly earthworks and vegetation and so on. Yeah, thank you.
Is there any speaker against this? I'll put it all in favour. It's carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Sorry, Councillor Steele. Councillor McCleary seeks leave of absence, councillors, from the 29th of June to the 13th of July. So I'm prepared to move that. Councillor Monica Warnock and Councillor Jones, all in favour. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. We have questions from members listed there. We move to item 14, councillors. So I'm prepared to move that we agree to consider this matter, and I'll ask the CEO to explain it. Councillor Hayward, Councillor Giles, all in favour. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. CEO, can you just explain the background to this, please?
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillors, under the first round of funding that was announced for stage one of the foreshore redevelopment, there's a component in that which deals with business disruption for the Dolphin Discovery Centre. Funding specifically identified an amount of $50,000 to come out of the contingency budget, which was as per the signed agreement. This money is to be used to undertake their preliminary, planning to ensure that they can remain open during all the construction period. So it's not about compensating them for loss of business or anything else, it's about planning to ensure that they stay open and continue to deliver a service during the period. So the funding was to be paid prior to the 31st of August. We have received a request from the South West Development Commission as the other funding partner in the process, requesting that payment be made prior to the end of this financial year. Consistent with the agreement, we've put this recommendation forward to Council. Because it's been brought forward into the current financial year, we need a resolution of Council. If it had been post 1 July, we could have just paid it under the financial system agreement. So that's why it's been brought back before Council, but it is consistent with the funding agreement and the intent and purpose for which it was identified.
Thank you. I'll get a move in a second, and then any questions we can deal with them then. Someone prepared to move this. Councillor Hayward, seconder. Councillor Warner. Are there any questions regarding this matter, councillors? Councillor Steck.
Thank you, sir. I'm just wondering, given that the Dolphin Discovery Centre will have the most likely disruption over the upgrades and roadworks, has the Sailing Club and the Caravan Park approached Council in concerns in relation to their business and also the Quest Apartments in relation to the roadworks upgrades?
Councillor Stick, I can recall that there was substantial engagement with those various organisations some months ago by previous Director of Works and Services, but the CEO can elaborate.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. Certainly we have had ongoing dialogue with all the businesses along that area. The Sailing Club, etc., are certainly aware of the process, and they're certainly supportive of the work to be done. The main concern from all the businesses was if the Kambana Drive was to be closed during construction. As the decision's been made to go ahead with the tender and keep Kambana Drive open, that's not such a big issue for them. They do understand there'll be some disruption, but certainly we've consulted with them all the way through, and they're comfortable with where we're at this point.
Further questions? I'll put it all in favour. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. We move to item 15, councillors, and can I have someone move that we proceed behind closed doors? Councillor Cook, Councillor Jones, all in favour. That's carried. Thank you. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.